Hey, this is Christina Feliciano with Feliciano and Friends. I have my good friend Rance here. He is on River City Live. He's a foodie. He is really fun and cool, and he is going to educate us today about how he became on television and how he's gotten as far as he's gotten.
Oh man, you totally put me in a whole nother stratosphere. I hope I can reach them and maintain that bar you set.
You definitely can. So tell us a little about yourself. What is your background?
So I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. Been a bit of a nomad most of my life. I mean, I was there forever, but then once I left for college, I lived in Little Rock, and back to Dallas, and back to Little Rock, back to Dallas, and then spent some time in Colorado. And then,
that's cool.
I loved Colorado. That was
Beautiful.
Years ago. And then I was in Charlotte for a couple years and then landed in Jacksonville.
Okay, how long have you been in Jax for?
Almost 10 years.
Okay, very cool. And how long have you been doing River City?
Almost 10 years. That's what brought me here.
Okay. How did you get into broadcasting?
So broadcasting, I didn't really have aspirations to be in front of the camera. I just ran my mouth a lot growing up and thought I wanted to be a lawyer, but realized that I don't have a great memory. So I saw Do the Right Thing in my junior year in high school, Spike Lee.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this?
I don't know this movie.
So he was like one of the first black directors that I came across.
Okay.
And so film directors. And
I know Spike Lee, but I'm not familiar with that movie.
Oh, so it was just one of the... I can't really speak on specifics of the movie because I don't remember well. But it was basically talking about this racial divide in Brooklyn between like this Italian family and African American culture. And so, but it was really just the fact that I was like, oh, we can direct movies. And so,
really cool.
But then the rub is like, you know, if I'm again doing a history research, I'm like, oh, there were black people directing movies before him, but that was the one that got
it because he was pretty famous.
Yeah, so that's where I was like, oh, I want to get in a film.
Okay, so you want to be behind the camera at first?
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm in Dallas, and I played soccer at the time, and I'm like, oh, want to make movies? I play soccer. I'll go to UCLA. That's where they make movies. LA.
Yeah.
I'm like, wasn't good enough to go to UCLA, but but so I ended up going to
my uncle
college.
There, so it was okay for him.
And UCLA, you went to UCLA?
Yeah, like for his master's, he came up from Sweden. Yeah.
Oh well.
But it wasn't undergrad. I think it was easier. I shouldn't say this, but yeah, he did something with his master's. It wasn't.
But still, you know. But that's when you find out what you're really like. Oh, this is real life.
He's not watching this, so I really.
But so yeah, I ended up going to college in Arkansas, but they paid me to go to school, so it was great.
Okay, was it D1?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
cool.
A buddy of mine went there to play. Yeah. So
yeah.
A buddy of mine, he went there and he's like, dude, come here, you know, you'll get to play and whatever. And they ain't making movies in Little Rock. So I just went for the experience, and I was in the radio, TV, film broadcast, and I was doing a lot more behind the scenes, but a buddy of mine, he had like this video show, and so I'd go up there and do bits with him, but just clowning.
Yeah.
So, I was working.
Was it like a Vines type thing?
No, this is way before Vines. Okay. Internet and social media was... So, but it was like... it was on the college station. Yeah. So his video show, so it was like he'd introduce me. Back when people played music videos too, that shows how long ago.
That wasn't a minute ago.
Yeah. So we'd do bits and stuff, but I still was just like, I'll be behind the scenes. Yeah. So worked in news and the studio crew in Little Rock, and then came back to Dallas so I was back in Dallas, and then I went to Colorado to have a career in sales. Tragic. And then I came.
You were good at sales?
It wasn't even that. The way I got into this company, it was like I got in to do like account executive. It was a fitness equipment company. Okay. And so I got in to be that, and then they're like, well, learn the ropes as like data entry, and so I was doing that, and then didn't love it. Yeah. And so came back to Dallas. Another friend of mine was leaving a TV station. Hey, come check out our spot. Went in, and they liked me, and so I started working in TV in Dallas, behind the scenes again.
Okay. Were you doing stories and things?
No, I was working in the office, like so you've got people that do program traffic and commercial time, stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, I was just like, all right.
Were you like just like booking stuff?
I wasn't even booking. It was like so out of any. I wasn't even producing anything. I was kind of editing a little bit, but yeah, it was like so. Traffic and programming, they're the ones that make sure that like the commercials sit where they're supposed to. They time out the shows to make sure everything. So it was like, all right. And then I ended up getting back into news production, working with the studio and stuff, and it was fun. You know, it was what I was thinking I was gonna do. And then another buddy of mine, he's like, "Hey, I got this idea for a extreme sports show. Do you want to audition to be a host?" Okay, what does that entail? And so we did the thing, and then 9/11 happened. They decided they wanted to launch the show, and like, hey, tag, you're the host. And that's really how it got started.
Oh, wow. But that's been a minute then. He's been doing it since 9/11?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. So we're talking like 24 years. Yeah. And then, but it was funny. There was an extreme sports show, and I mean, you know me. And I'm usually kind of bopping around. So the first couple of episodes, I had no idea. Hi, I'm Rance Adams, and you're watching Extreme Motion.
Were you? Like
that? Yeah. I'm like super buttoned up. And so a guy I worked with on the studio floor was like, dude, I don't like that guy. And I was like, what do you mean? Character. Yeah. He's like, I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, dude, that guy has no energy. I like the guy that's here in the studio. So in studio, I was always bopping around, dancing. Yeah, and so I was like, really? So I turned it up from there, and that's awesome. Kind of...
That's a pretty cool thing. Like, the more authentic you were, the more opportunity.
Yeah. And I've kind of ridden that all the way throughout my career. Sometimes good, sometimes doesn't work.
No, but it's a blessing because you really are authentic, and people love you.
I mean, I am me.
Let me ask you, because you interview a lot of people, how do you do such a good job of making everyone feel like... I've always felt that you've always made me feel really like comfortable, that you actually care. And I've seen you interview other people, and I feel like I'm not special. that everybody gets that treatment from you. So how do you get that gift? And how are you able to be so genuine, so kind, and also get people on the show, make them feel comfortable, and get them to open up? Like, that's a gift that you have, and how do you have that gift, and how do you pull that out of other people?
I like to think
Take notes.
I like to think I'm generally interested in everybody you meet, because it doesn't matter. Like, I could meet you in this space 5 years ago, and then 5 years from now, we could cross paths again. But maybe something from that experience we had 5 years ago, it resonates, and it can be included in this conversation, or it's laid the foundation for how I interact in a different way. But I'm really like, I like to get to know people. And then when I'm having a conversation, say like when we first met with what you do with Alpha and all this stuff, even though I have an idea of what you're going to be coming to talk to me about or what your deal is, I like to treat every conversation I have with somebody as, I don't know anything, the audience doesn't know anything, so we're learning together. So that's kind of how I got. I'm like, I mean, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I want everybody to have that experience where they take away whatever like you're trying to tell, and everybody's got a short story to tell.
I agree with that.
And so
I think we can learn from everyone.
And so if I have the opportunity, I like to give them a platform to share their story, whether it's like you with your clinic, or obviously I do a lot of fun stuff, but even some of the others, I've met some incredible people doing some crazy. I'm like, I have no bandwidth. Like, some of these youngsters I've met actually give me hope. So I've met a couple of Eagle Scouts that are like, one, he still had a year of high school. He'd already tapped out of everything, and he was already looking to the next level. Met a young lady who was like 12 or 13. She's already an Eagle Scout, badged out. And I'm just like, well, what do you do from here? And just hearing people like, well, I want to do this with this. I want to go to college, and I want to pivot into this. I met a a pageant queen or aspiring pageant queen, you know, and whatever your perception is of somebody that's in a pageant life.
No, it's hard. It's a hard work.
But I mean, you're like, oh, pageant, beauty, glam. This girl who's 4 months in walking in heels. She's like, I've been a tomboy my whole life. Yeah. I got brothers and whatever. And I forgot what really turned her. But once she found out about what the, I think it's Miss America platform, where it was about whatever your...
like the philanthropic... Well, I can't. You say that from word.
The philanthropic. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
But so hers was... it was like giving kids like empowerment, like some books and stuff, you know. And so she's like, I just resonated with that, and so I did it. So I learned how to walk in heels. I'm a girly girl.
I think that's really positive because I think when it comes to a lot of things with, you know, with fame, with looks, right or wrong, it can open up opportunities where it can obviously be not positive and people can go a bad route, but if you use it in the positive way, you can help a lot of people with that platform.
If people don't sit in that with their ego, like, you know, you are beautiful, but you don't live in that space where it's just like, see me. And there are people that are like, I'm beautiful. I want everybody to know it. It's all about me. But you have that personality, that heart that you're giving back to the community and really trying to connect with people. And so, yeah, if you can go, but you also have to fight the battle of people see you and they're just like, she's nothing. But
that's why I also try to be open about my journey and things, to be like, look, I've gone through, you know, that it's not always like this.
And that's a positive thing because people actually get it. So when I do my interviews, and I think people, they'll send me like, all right, these are
I don't know if you saw my recent post that I did.
Yeah,
where I look kind of rough. I don't always look beautiful.
But it's authentic. That's the thing that people. So when I do interviews with people, they can send me their questions. Like, okay, this is what I want to talk about. Okay, and they can send me questions, and we'll talk. We'll do a pre like, okay, what are you gonna ask me? Me, I don't know. You can I'll give you a base, but I want you to be able to conversate with me.
Yes.
So, like, if you're a business, you know your business. You know what you want to say.
Right.
People get so stuck, like, I'm going to be in front of the camera. And I know it can be nerve-wracking, but Eden and I are, like, and even Jana, we're, like, the easiest people to talk to. And
that is true. It makes it a world of difference.
So, you know, but we can go down the script, but, you know, I want you to shine.
Do you have some people that are really, like, nervous?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this wasn't like with the show, but I had a cousin years ago when I was in Dallas, and I want to be on TV. I'm like, all right, you know, one day we'll make it happen. So one day I was out shooting with a crew and just happened to run into him.
Yeah.
I mean, legit. And I'm like, all right. And I was doing man on the street interviews. Yeah. I'm like, all right, here's your chance. This is a question I'm going to ask you. So you ready? Yeah. And I mean, granted, he was only like 10 or 11. But I was like, all right, so the Mavericks are in the playoffs. What do you think's going to happen? Are they going to do it?
Yeah.
You ain't ready, man. See him at the family reunion. I'm ready now. I don't have a camera. It's not a big
But you choked. You missed your chance.
But I get it. It is.
Look where you could have been.
But it's just like, I get it. It's cameras and all that, but don't think about it. Yeah. Just go in, be in the moment. I'm here having a conversation with you one-on-one. Like, we have our producer over here. Sure. I'm not even focused on that, but, you know. But, you know, some people, they're like, there's lights, there's cameras and all.
I know. They used to tell me before they stopped, but they would be like, you shouldn't make any guarantees. And they're like, you're live. I'm like, I guarantee I will change your life.
What you do. And but they're like, well, you can't make that guarantee. It's like, I'm not making a guarantee that you're going to get X, Y, Z result.
I'm just guaranteeing our money back. It's not like,
But I'm saying, I'm guaranteeing your life will change.
Exactly.
Your
life is going to be better.
No. It's going to be better.
It will be better, guys.
It will be better. You can be aces. Don't worry about it.
No, I definitely try to guarantee that life's going to be for the better. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like I can stand behind that. And if I had to give money back, I would. But I don't have too much because I'm really dedicated to hopefully trying to make people, feel better. But I do remember they would tell me that. They'd be like, don't say that. And I'm like, okay, we're live.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Rance, you might not want to what I said. I think I already said it. My bad. Is this thing recording?
So what about all the stuff you do with the food? Is that just like a love, like a passion that you do? Or is that part of River City?
It became a passion of mine.
Okay.
So, obviously I liked and still like to eat. And thank you, Christina, for helping with it, change my mindset with that. But yeah, when I got here, it was I was down in St. John's, and when I got here, they're like, here are keys, here's a camera, here's a car, go explore. So I was down in St. John's, and there wasn't really a lot of food popping off down there, and so I started roaming around, and then our original co-hosts, they were in studio a lot, and so it was just me doing whatever, and then it turned out they were kind of picky eaters, and Rance is like, Mikey, he'll try anything, so... And it's funny because growing up, I was not a...
You weren't, so you kind of grew into that?
Oh my, I was like, lived in Texas. I didn't eat tacos until my first taxable job, which was Taco Bell. And then I'm like, why have we not been eating tacos? What is your mental...
Oh my goodness, that's wild.
Food couldn't touch. It's like, no, everything's got to be... Now it's like... Make it all work. But yeah, so I just started just exploring, and then I was like, oh. And then I really, after meeting chefs and learning how stuff's prepared, and I was like, oh. So it gave me a greater appreciation for food.
Are you cook now more?
I cooked before, but I'm a better cook. No. And especially like using more natural ingredients, healthier ingredients, stuff like fresh, like had no idea the difference, like, oh, I'm pulling like basil leaves from this little shaker bottle instead of just pulling them off the lake. Oh, that totally pops the flavor, and then just like the different layers of food quality, and like I'd make something, I'm like, oh, that's good, and then somebody would make it the same way, but different spices or whatever, and you like feel flavors roll over your tongue, or it's like, oh, I got that, oh, there it is, so I enjoy.
Have you ever eaten something you didn't like on camera and had to pretend?
There was one time, I won't say who it was, but it was they did a Thanksgiving casserole.
Well, they're gonna be. And you're describing it pretty well to figure out.
They did a Thanksgiving casserole, and we were doing it on the fly because it was like, all right, we're squeezing this in for whatever reason. And so they showed up, and they're like, okay, it's prepared. All right, cool, let's go. It's like, but it needs to sit in the oven for 45 minutes. We got 45 minutes, so just let's get it warm. We'll figure it out. And so... we got it warm, we get into the segment, and it gets to the part where I taste it. That was the best casserole I ever ate in my life.
Did you get sick?
No. And it was just that one bite. So, I was like, all right, great, you guys can do your thing. And my aunt, she actually called me out. And she calls me and she's like, you didn't like that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
She saw it in your face.
She's like, I could tell. It's like, no, you couldn't. If you really like something,
you'll have a second bite.
You are on it. That one, you're like, all right, that's interesting. And kept it moving. It's like, she knows. Oh, now y'all know now.
Now I know. That's what I was just thinking now. He only took one bite. It's not good.
But there's some good stuff going on around here.
What do you recommend around here?
Oh, I got a whole list. I got people there. I just left the dentist office. Like, where have you been? And like, here, try this place, this place. This is on this side of town. So I keep a list. I need to figure out how to get like a pin map. And,
you should.
Because we're on this side of town. You know what? I haven't been over here in a minute. I know there's some new spots that have popped up, but down in Nocatee, they've got like a new chop house. Nocatee, which is a steakhouse that's good. They got a coastal wine down there that's good. And PV, Trask, I haven't been to in a while. And, but yeah, there's the food scene in Jacksonville has expanded so much. And that's the other thing, because Jacksonville is so big. You can go on this side of town.
Yeah, it's very different.
And then you go over on this side of town.
It's like multiple. I feel like it's so diverse.
It's gotten, I mean, it already had some of that, but I think people are more embracing it a little bit more.
Definitely. In the last, because I've been here on and off for 17 years, and it's definitely, I feel like, become more diverse. I've always liked it here, though.
Jacksonville has grown on me. Yeah. When I first got here, it was a stop-off. No lie. Yeah. I was like, all right, we're here. We're going to jump
now
off
we're going to
die. But it won't be a bad spot.
It won't, right?
So my mental now is like, I don't really want to go anywhere. I definitely feel like I've embraced the community and they've embraced me. But like, if you're having a bad day, just go look at some water. You
that's how I feel. Like, that's exactly being on the beach. I'm just like, as bad as it is, like, I can go to the beach.
Or just drive over a bridge over to St. John's or the Intercoastal.
The Intercoastal. Or even going to the country. Like, and it's just, that's how I feel, is even like when I haven't necessarily loved it here, like the people or had a hard time, I've always just loved like the country and the nature here. And
Jacksonville, I describe it as like, it's got a big city feel.
But it's like a small town. It's so wild because it is a big city. But then like, even like in my occupation, I've been around for 17 years as far as physicians, it's like, I feel like it's small. Like everybody knows, or, you know, everybody. But even like, we went fishing, my dad and I, this Sunday out of Palm Valley, and we went into like, just kind of like, it was like nature. You didn't see any houses, and I was like, I love Florida. Like, I do. And I love like intercoastal waterways too.
I can't imagine you fishing. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it.
Are you
for real? Yeah, no.
Oh my
Maybe
goodness.
Open, like out in deep sea or something, just in the intercoastal. What are you fishing for?
Real?
Yeah.
We got, he ended up catching a grouper. We got redfish.
Oh, so y'all were out in the ocean.
Well, it was brackish.
Oh, okay.
It's brackish there in the intercoastal. Yeah, but some catfish on mistake.
Mistake? I'll eat some catfish. That's a Texas thing.
Yeah, you haven't met my dad. I'm super half redneck. I grew up on a farm.
Wait, I thought you were from up north somewhere.
Maryland, but my dad's from Kentucky. So my dad's family is like southern redneck country. Then my mother is Swedish, came over as an exchange student. And then I grew up in Maryland, but we had a farm my whole life.
I'm totally wrapping my mind around. How did this dude from Kentucky pull a sweet? Yeah, your dad had some game. What's up?
I think he did. He's got a ponytail and a beard, still to this day. He's super salt of the earth. Izzy knows him. Like, he is. Yeah, I'm a country girl.
Okay.
Yeah. But then my mother is very like proper and.
So you had a complete balance.
Yeah, so I'm like, but definitely no, I love fishing. I love outdoor stuff. Like, I can be on the water all day. I water ski.
So I have to say, a lot of times when
I'm just so surprised that you can't see me fishing, because the guy met me this weekend, had never met, and couldn't imagine when I was telling him these other things that I do. But he was like, I don't see that, because he was seeing that other side of me.
So when I think of like fish coming from Texas, I'm thinking like you're on a lake or whatever. I don't always wrap my mind around.
That's kind of how it was.
Really?
I mean, it was like super. Yeah, at the end I'll show you. Like, well, we can. Yeah, out my phone, but
we'll see.
Yeah, I'll see at the end. But I'm talking about. Yeah, we could show a clip, but no, I'm talking about it would look like a lake. We're like not in. We were in like really low tide water.
But I mean, brackish and being out in the ocean is like the lakes in Texas. There might be some bodies in there. I'm just saying. Yeah. So it's not really great. I'm not jumping off the boat to go hang in the water and in the lakes in Texas. And then once we're talking brackish, aren't there gators and stuff?
Yeah, but that's not bother me.
Okay. Okay. Until it needs to.
I mean, I'm not like petting tigers.
I get people that are like, what, you don't like? I mean, I like the beach fine, but
I'm more afraid of sharks than gators.
Yeah, that's true. And now the sharks are like, but yeah, they're like, what? The chances of a shark attacking, but there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Yeah. Nobody's attack. If I go snowboarding, bears are starting to attack.
Are they?
Yeah, so I used to say, oh, nobody's getting chased by bears or wolverines on the snow while you're
now they are.
And then I saw a video. I was like, all right, well, I guess that's the thing too.
That's so funny. So how do you basically keep River City fresh?
Because
you do. Is it the guests? Is it you?
I mean, there's guests, but I think it's just like I said, when we talk to people, we want to make it a conversation. So even if we've spoken to you before, we can talk about some of the same things, but there might be a nugget here that tweaks it, or just how it's presented. But yeah, it's just really about just connecting with people, and like, I'm always about a good time. So even if it's like something that might be sales focused or whatever, I'm like, all right, we can still make this interesting, you know? And so I think that's what I just try to find a way to make it interesting.
And can like anybody get on, like, so if someone wants to be on River City, can anyone get on River City? Is there a process?
There's a process. You got to pitch us, you know, and there's a lot of stuff. It's like, okay, that has legs, we can do that, but you know, sometimes we'll get something. It's like, no. And then our situation now is just time. Like we're so booked out. Like people, hey, we've got this. Sorry. Yeah. You know, we're booked out pretty much.
That's almost a good thing to have. Problem to have.
It's not bad, but then there's something. It's like, oh, I wish we could have done that. But you know, you figure it out, and life happens. We've got like we can do stuff.
I don't know if I'm imagining this. Did you go on a hot air balloon?
No.
Or is it like you were going to, or is this just like a dream that I had?
I mean,
I feel like there was like a hot air balloon saga recently.
No hot air balloons. Jana and I had this thing. We were going to go skydiving.
Oh, maybe this is what
that luckily didn't work out.
You're going to die live.
That was one where, and I give props to my girl. Jana is my AA energy sis, and she's like, if you go, I go. And when we had a situation, we were both a little like, and I'm like, well, you know what? You can tap out. I'll take it for their team. And she's like, nope, you go, I go. Oh, it had that potential. That's all I'm going to say about that. It had that potential. There were, like, we will talk about, that will be one of our best stories.
Okay, I knew that it was something.
But yeah, that one was, no. I used to want to go in a hot air balloon, and it's funny.
That would have been safer.
Well, so.
Maybe not.
That's the thing. You know, actually, these days, everything's relative. Like you would be like, I'm not gonna go to a carnival with these rides because you know I don't know if it's because they're just traveling around. And then you go to whatever amusement park that's been established and whatever, and then they have a problem. So you just never know. But hot air balloons. A friend of mine just went up, and I'm like, kudos to you. I think I'm good because I've seen too many burn out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think I'd rather die in skydiving.
I would think so.
Hot air balloon.
I mean, at least so when I went skydiving, I went skydiving through a rainstorm, or as a rainstorm was coming.
Skydiving before.
Yeah. Oh. That was years ago with my other show, and so I recommend don't eating a chili cheeseburger before you go up in the air, but I didn't know we were going up at the time we did, and so it was long. But we were setting up. They're like, "Hey, we got time, so go eat lunch." And I'm like, "I don't know why, but I want a chili cheeseburger." And then there was a storm rolling in. They're like, "If we're going, we got to go now." And I'm like, "I'm not finished with my chili cheeseburger, but all right." And we go up. And so you've seen that cartoon pictures of what a raindrop looks like? Yeah. You know, it's fat on the end pointer.
Yeah.
So we jump through these clouds, and it's technically raining.
Yeah.
Drops are here, but I'm coming from here. I had razor burn, because
oh my goodness.
Yeah, from the points and stuff. Wow. And so
that's wild.
Great experience. But then at one point, as we're drifting, the air dropped, and so we're drifting, and then when the air dropped, it was like, oh. So, and then when we landed, I was like, I survived. I think I'm going to throw up now. I didn't, but so don't eat chili cheeseburger.
Yeah, I had a parasailing experience.
Really? I think you told me about that.
Parasailing. I'm country, so we were in Winter Haven on the chain of lakes at a house there, or a condo there, and friends, and we were doing like country. Literally, we had a parachute, hooked it up to a boat, had the boat go, ran,
Oh, so this isn't even organized.
It was organized
that is
by
strict.
me and my friends.
Yep, that's redneck. That's red. You made your own water slides out of plastic bags.
This is when I was drinking. So I've been drinking all day, and they're giving me the instructions. They're explaining to do, and like you can see the pictures. I'm like, I'm gonna go, like not paying attention. Well, all I remember they said was when you go up in the air and you're in the parachute, make sure that you don't pull the release too late. If you pull it too late, you're going to hit the water too fast, you could break your leg. So that was in my mind. So we go, I run, get taken up in the air, so I'm in the parachute, going around the lake, and I remember thinking, I can't pull it too late, but I don't remember when. So I said, you know what, F it, I'm going to pull it right now so it's not too late. And when I pulled it, because again, this is country, we just had a release. It was a release. It released, hit me in the head, knocks me out, the parachute went, doo-doo-doo, and then I was just pre-parachute down. Like every other place when you do it legit, they parachute you back in. This was just me parachuting down.
And you're knocked out.
Well, I came to and there was blood everywhere. And then I hit the water. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I was like, I don't know because there's so much blood if I'm okay or not. And then I hit the water, knew I could move. And then I ended up having to get like multiple double layers of stitches and it wasn't good. But I was, the best actually was though, look at this. So all my friends are like everyone and my husband at the time, everyone's like drinking and partying. So my parachute has gone back and forth. I'm expecting that like when I get pulled up to like the shore, everyone's going to be like rushed out. Like nobody had even noticed.
You okay? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, they were like, we did see you go like that in the air, but you're a soldier. And then my mother, it was funny. My mom, because I was like drinking, calling my mom, and he's like, she's all bad. Her face is all, and she was like, get her to a plastic surgeon.
She didn't even say go to ER. She's like, get her to surgeon.
She's like, she's a young doll, because like, she's worried or whatever. And then of course we don't do that. We just go down the street to like.
Oh, and I bet you those first round of stitches were jagged.
Yeah. Well, I still have, you can see in some lights.
Look at you, Harry Potter.
Yeah, so I have like there's a big like bump on my forehead I still have. And what happens is I didn't get an MRI or anything. I must have had a skull fracture, they said. So now I actually have extra bone that grew over it. So you can see it in certain lights, but the way to take care of it now is, and my mom, every time she sees me, will be like, what happened to your forehead? I'm like, Mom. But I grew extra bone, and to cosmetically get rid of it, you'd have to cut it open, shave down the bone, and it's not.
It's not noticeable I'm going to be like.
Yeah, but I have, so.
I mean, like I said, like if you hadn't told me.
So, but I had that, and then I had a horse riding accident, so I don't, and all of that to say, I don't want to go skydiving.
You're good on that.
I'm good.
I mean, I probably won't, but it was just
I just don't want to. I just get worried.
See, that's the thing. But that's smart though. If you have some sort of fear, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because my mom would just say, I've done some things, and she was like, well, I did this thing where I was swinging on this cable, and she's like, well, what if the cable had broken? I'm like, I would have died.
Yeah.
But I wasn't thinking of that because if I thought about it, I might not have done it. So. Yeah. And that's probably why I do a lot of the things I do. Because if I don't think about it, I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then after the fact, maybe I should have rethought that.
I think I used to be super invincible, but now I'm like, I lived through so much, I would have survived.
But I think that's for me.
Now I'm super safe.
There's a couple instances like I legit should be dead. Yeah. And I think from that, I'm just like, you know what? I might not be here tomorrow, so if something pops up that's interesting and I can do it.
I think that too, but that's assuming you die quick.
Well, there's that too. Yeah. There's that too. But yeah.
You don't want to like stroke out.
But I mean, yeah.
And still be here. Or get paralyzed.
Yeah, that's a no joy for me. I always said if that ever happened, I'm like, tap out.
That's how I feel.
But then I'm because I got a friend who's actually been in a chair since we were 16.
Yeah.
And still, and I'm like, dude, you're a rock star, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they do say, there's some studies that if you like win the lottery in a year from now, your happiness level will be the same as your baseline. And supposedly too, God forbid, you get paralyzed, like almost like the people have this like natural happiness or whatever, that money or even tragedy, they will often go back to their baseline. But I hope I never have to experience that, because that seems like that'd be a really tough way.
I just want to win the lottery. I can miss all the other stuff. And you guys will find me at the party after that. I'm out.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind winning the lottery either. What would you do if you won the lottery?
I would have a huge party.
Yeah.
And then I used to say I would just buy an island, you know, and just for whatever. Now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely buying an island because people are getting a little wild. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go hang out over there. I can pop in over here, over there,
Yeah.
but the rub is like I'm not a great beach person, so after a while I'd get bored on the island.
Yeah, well, you could probably have multiple places.
I mean, yeah, if you got the lottery, so I'm kind of more of a mountain guy.
Yeah.
That's my quiet.
Is it?
Yeah.
What part of what mountains do you like in the United States?
Well, I mean, I should say I've been to the Smokies years ago, but when I was in Colorado,
It's so beautiful.
Snowboarding like every week for like 6 months and just sitting on top of the hill staring out this great expanse. And like you can get that with the ocean, you know, sitting on the beach, but on the mountain, that quiet is just like a whole nother level.
I think people are either beach or mountain people.
I don't want to live there all the time because I like Taco Bell.
Do they not have Taco Bell in Colorado?
Well, if you're up on a mountain, you're gonna be hard pressed to have it. That's why I can't live way out in the country.
Oh, you're just saying super country doesn't have Taco Bell.
I can't be way out in the country. Like I got a friend. He's got this huge compound, gorgeous, you know, and he's got land and all this stuff. And I'm like, bruh, if I moved out here, whoever I'm with, we really gotta like each other because we are out here, and there's no Taco Bell. So it's paramount to my existence. I have to have it at least once a month. And
what do you get from Taco Bell? What's your favorite thing?
I just go smorgasbord.
Do you? Yeah. I like the Dorito. Taco Supreme.
And the rub is, I can make it at home just as well or better, but for whatever. And I know Taco Bell, y'all ain't paying for this, so not the greatest, but you work for my palate, so.
I like it all right.
I hope you get a sponsorship. Taco Bell's ban that segment.
Yeah. I just went with Red Bull and someone's like, you gotta be careful, they're gonna come. I'm like, I hope that I'm so big that Red Bull's gonna take the time to come after me for...
I did it years ago.
You gotta be really careful with those scrubs. You know, like...
When I was in Dallas, our station got a South Park in syndication. Yeah. And so one of our... creative people came up with this idea, and so they South Parked me and my co-host, and we did this whole bit. Yeah. And it was just like I got run over, and so like Kenny or whatever, and it was this whole thing. It was like live action, and then South Park, and then live action again.
I love that.
And it ran. I don't even think it ran a week, and all of a sudden, cease and desist. We will sue you for everything you got. And I don't even. I think I've still got it.
Did your character die?
I got run over. But we had this.
Did you say the cease and desist has come?
But we had this. Had this big vehicle. It was a U Cruiser, and we were like the street team or whatever. And the cruiser runs me over. I got it somewhere. I don't know.
Oh my god, I love that.
I gotta find. I'm gonna post
that.
Yeah,
you have to find it for sure. That's awesome.
But yeah, they were like, no, great idea, but this is ours.
That's so funny. So what do you think for people that you've seen come on the show or branding, why do some brands and people stick and why don't some? In your opinion.
It's so coming from restaurants. Mm-hmm. Restaurant business, especially now, is so volatile, and people like they're doing their thing and then they're surviving as best they can. But now, I mean, they're all the stuff they need for their recipes, their menu items, gone up exponentially. Mm-hmm. They're wherever they land for their brick and mortar, they're getting their rent so high, and like they have to debt, and so I feel bad for them. So, but really, it's just some of it's kind of like where people are located, because we've had some businesses that are like maybe more focused here, this side of town. Mm-hmm. All right, but. Other sides are like, that's way down there, I don't care. But the thing I like about our show, and then what I took away when I first got here, is like Jacksonville is so expansive, but what I was able to do and what I've discovered is like there are places that people might have visited 10, 20, 30 years ago. And then I'll go in there and like, oh my God, I forgot that was there. And it brings up some memory, and then they'll go visit. Or it's something brand new. I mean, the restaurants is really worth, it's like, okay, that's a brand new spot. I'll go check that out. But yeah, it's really kind of Jacksonville will sit in their pocket. We're not going. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere outside of this line. You know, I mean, you roll around, but you're in your pocket. And you're like, I don't really need to go up to Jacksonville.
I don't roll around that much.
But I mean, no, you're in your, but you're here on this side of town. But it's like, well, if I don't have to go up there, you know, if I'm making that trip, like people, like I'm over in downtown side, coming to the beaches, it's like, do I really want to do that? What time is it going to entail?
Well, it's funny because even with Stephanie, I was going to see her this week, or I am going to see her, and she was like, you know, we can meet, but she's like, just make sure that you pick like a restaurant that has like good parking. I'm like, how about I come over and we Uber Eats? How about that? Because that, I'm like, and then I was like, she's like, I'm like, if you want to go out, we can totally do that, but I vote for.
I'm a big takeout.
Like, yeah, that's where I'm like, honestly. And then when she said she was down for it, like, I'm so looking forward to that more right now than if we were like meeting to go out. Like, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. We're just gonna like chill, talk, laugh, eat, and hang out with the dogs.
And coming from a position of frugality, making our money work for us.
Yeah.
I love our service industry, but if I go takeout, I'm not having a tip like that, you know. No shade to you guys, but if I'm sitting down, I want to take care of them, right?
For sure, 100%.
So it's like,
did you not trip your Uber driver?
I mean, well, well, no. So I've only ordered Uber Eats twice.
Oh, okay. So ever. Just call and then just go pick it up.
Typically, yeah. Or I'll do the apps or whatever. But yeah, I'm just like, because, man, I wanted to order Uber Eats one day. I was getting Chick-fil-A. My Chick-fil-A sandwich was 15. Yeah. $15 for my sandwich, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, after all of these charges and tip, I'm putting 40, and it's 5 minutes away. I'll go wait. I'll go sit in line.
No, it's funny. Growing up, like my parents were really frugal. I don't know if I told you this, but we had like a little Pizza Hut in our town. We grew up really country. It was like the only thing that we had. But they had these coupons, and we're in a small town. My grandfather and my dad have a business in town where we have a horse. Like everyone knows us, right? My mom, she was a thick Swedish accent. She would go in for Pizza Hut, get the pizza with the coupon, but only when she'd make me go in by myself.
Oh, well, yeah. My mom did that.
I know, but it was so silly because I'm sure, like, even now, they could have just been like, no, hey, we all know each other. Just, can you run them separately? But no, not my mom. She was like, Christina, go in. If they ask, don't say that you're with me.
Oh, my mom, we would be in a grocery store. We're in the line, and there's a limit on, there's like, you can only get 2. She's like, all right, I'm going to get 2. You go stand that line with your 2. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, okay, so when you were, actually, it probably wouldn't have been for you, but when you were going out, did guys like ever take you out and have coupons?
No.
So back in the day, you would not catch me. I mean, I might be like, hey, Mr. Waiter, or whatever. Now I come in, is this still in? It's 2 for 1, and BOGO this and that. I
feel like we did probably when I was in high school. I always had I didn't really date much. I was one of those met somebody and then was with them for, you know what I'm saying, for years. So I know we used coupons, but I didn't go on when we would go out, we'd use coupons, but not really. I didn't really date.
But yeah, but I mean, back in the day, dudes, we were trying to be cool. We were
for sure.
Yeah, she didn't need to know I don't have any money. Now I'm like, I'm open about it all day.
When I met my husband, he was living on a futon.
I mean, we've all spent time on a futon, and I mean...
But I saw that potential.
He's going to have a king-size bed.
One day.
Air mattress. My man went from a futon. It's like, oh, he went from a Corolla to a Corvette. Now it's like he went from a futon to a big boy bed.
Right? Yeah. No. I mean, to be fair, he was in college. So
see, that's not fair.
He had a Civic and a futon because he was in college. But
I had a mattress. I had a king size mattress on the floor forever. And now
it was
I'm like,
the best futon ever. It's
like, man, what? But getting all the furniture and cinder blocks.
Yeah.
And milk
I remember
crates.
we had a bed with no when we lived together. We had a bed that we were we'll save money by not getting a frame.
I mean, what do you need a frame for?
Actually, I forgot. Yeah, we didn't have a frame.
You know?
for like the first couple years.
Makes
we were like,
noise.
why would we? Maybe that's why I was telling Izzy that we had all this money. I'm like, we had so much money. We saved. We went to Europe. And I'm like, we also had a bed with no frame.
But
so maybe that's why.
But you had more experiences than you didn't need a bed frame. You get to live some life and do some things that you're like.
For sure. No, that's awesome. So what would you tell your younger self or young people? What would you give advice for them?
For young people in general, get outside your comfort zone. So when I go talk to kids, whatever age, I'm like, if you can find a way to go to college or go somewhere, if you're not going to college, go at least 4 hours away from home, whatever your home base is. That way you can be close. But it's not like you're going to be like, I'm homesick and I'm going home every weekend. I would suggest going further, and also wherever you go where, have some comfort, but go where it's like, I don't really know anybody. So you have to engage different cultures, different people, different ages, and really get a sense kind of who you are, but then get a sense of the world. Because I know so many people that are like, have never left their town. They might have gone 100 miles here, this way and that way, but then somebody from way out of pocket shows up and they're like, wait, what? And it's like, yeah, there's a world out there. You might want to go check it out. So
no, that's a really good advice.
But then, like, go out. I mean, home is always going to be there, but if you want to go back. But home is always going to be there, but go out and explore and see some things, do some things. And it's not about what you own or whatever. I'm like, yeah, you can do fashion or whatever. Or if you want to own something, that's your thing, do it. But have some life experiences. Like some of the gifts I give for birthdays and Christmases, it's not so much about like something that like, oh, well, here's this dish or whatever. It's like, last year I had a group of friends and we just done a lot of stuff throughout the year. So I just printed out pictures and gave everybody photo albums. Like,
that's cool. I like that. That's really thoughtful.
Because I mean, how many pictures do we have on our phones and our computers that we never look at or forget about?
No, for sure. That's why I have this old phone. I have to get another old phone, but everyone's like always get an updated phone. But the thing is, with this particular phone model, I can look at my albums from like 2009 on this particular model. And so I can see all these old pictures of my kids, and which is really special to me. So every time, like now, I have to go. They have to special order this old phone for me so I can keep it, where I can scroll because it's so important, the memories. And I could put it on the cloud. I could do, but I just know if it was there, I wouldn't look at it like I do now. Like now, I could be like 2009 here. So
now you could put it on the cloud and then put that particular part on your new phone because at some point they aren't going to do anything to take care of that 2009 phone.
But no, I could put it on the cloud, but I wouldn't be able to have it like I have it now.
No, you just put them on the cloud and then just re-download them to your phone. Not all of them, but maybe just find some particular ones. But I know where you're coming from.
Eventually, this is like the last few times I've had to wait a minute, and they're like, "Are you sure?" It's an SE. It's an SE.
They don't even upgrade the firmware and the software.
No, I know. That's what they tell me. You sound like the T-Mobile man. Are you sure, ma'am?
You're like my grandma with her flip phone. Like,
I'm positive.
Grandma, you can upgrade like this.
Yes, I have my own business. I live in Ponte Beach, but this is my phone with all my.
My God.
I'm gonna get it fixed this weekend.
People chip their screens. My lady has chipped the back part of it. Oh my God. What's that song, DJ Khaled? I'm so hood. Come on now. Come on now.
I am a little hood.
You
half
represent,
hood, half holy.
You represent alpha. You better, or get a second phone.
No, it's on my list. I've been really busy these past few weekends.
You know you can order that.
No, I'm going to go to You Breaky We Fixie.
Let it go. Let it go. That phone don't want you no more.
Like everything else.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true. Stay in the abstract, kids. This is a family show. We're still trying to make sure YouTube doesn't. But if you want to go there, we'll talk off camera.
Don't cancel Christina again.
No.
She's just made a comeback. She's going to get a new phone this weekend. Phone case.
So you're going to see it on social. She's like, Rance, out of spite, I got my phone. Stop talking trash about me.
I'm going to for real tomorrow. Saturday.
It has been noted. It has been noted. Right. By the time this airs, Christina will have a new phone.
Well, the same phone, just fixed.
You're going to stick with the SE.
I promise you, yes. Until they don't do it anymore. Until they refuse to make them.
Okay. Kudos to you. Kudos to you.
All right. So to wrap this up, what is your...
You're a Taurus, aren't you?
I am a Taurus.
Well, see, that's a total twist, too, because Taurus is, like, nice stuff and...
Oh, yeah, I am materialistic, but...
Noted!
But I like memories more.
Okay.
Memories and material.
I like the pivot. I like the pivot. Yes. I like the pivot. Okay. So, what are you gonna...
What's your favorite quote?
I have a bunch of rances and people are like, where did you come? I don't know. My dad used to have a bunch of stuff and I'm like, dude, but the one thing that really, I read this book, I'm into like kind of spy novels and sometimes like murder mysteries with detectives tracking people, but there was a quote this one guy said and he's like, you always know more than you know. And it took a second to really click in my brain, but it goes back to like your intuition and stuff. Or your instincts, like you always know like how you feel or, you know, or how you want to go into a situation. But then whatever reason, usually it's outside forces that make you change your decision.
I really like that quote.
But it's like, dude, you always know more than you know.
I like that.
So it's like when you're questioning this, that, whatever, it's like, you already know the answer. It's just, do you really want to?
Yeah.
Because some of the answers are tough.
Might not be pretty.
Oh, yeah. I've had a lot of rejection. I know about that. I didn't want that answer. But now I know. I already knew it was coming, but I was ready.
But that's a great quote.
But yeah, you always know more than you know. So it basically have faith in you and your decisions. They might not work out, you know, because you can make a choice and crater. You can not make a choice and it works out well. But the big thing, you know more than you know, and really make a choice. Shoot your shot.
And then just go for it.
Yeah. Shoot, yeah. I mean, if you don't try, you won't know.
100%. I love that. And what final thing is, what's on your 5-year? Where would you like to see yourself in 5 years? I'm all about manifestation and vision. So what would you like to do in the next 5 years?
I want to get into more of a public speaking forum.
You'd be great.
Like, maybe some motivational speaking. I mean, I love what we're doing. I'd like to kind of continue this in some aspect, Jacksonville or parts beyond. But yeah, just get out and like, I got plenty of stories, but just try to make some connections. Because one of my, I used to call myself glue, because I'm like, I make connections. I bring people together.
For sure. And
I think that's something that I've taken with the show. And I'm like, I'm making connections and introducing people to broken microphones. but yeah, so I just like making connections. And so that's what I do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a good friend. Thank you for always supporting me. And thanks for coming on and making me laugh today.
Thanks for letting me run my mouth.
We love you. Thank you, Rance. All right. Thanks for watching, y'all.